It was supposed to be just another red carpet moment at Weibo's Group Watch. Cameras flashing, idols standing in perfect formation, fans screaming their names. But then the camera shifted and in a heartbeat, everything changed. Hou Minghao stepped closer. Not rushed. Not staged. Just closer. And then it happened. A warm embrace under blinding stage lights. Only a few seconds long yet powerful enough to send the internet into meltdown. Was it spontaneous, was it instinct, or was it something braver, a quiet confession hidden in plain sight? Stay with me, because this moment wasn't just a hug. It was a spark that set social media on fire. Weibo's Group Watch was meant to celebrate stars, drama promotions, and the unity of the industry. Artists lined up in elegant outfits, smiles perfectly trained, posture controlled like second nature. It was polished, professional, predictable. Until it wasn't. As the cameras slowly panned across the lineup, capturing each celebrity one by one, fans were casually taking screenshots, admiring visuals, outfits, micro-expressions. And then the lens caught something different. Hou Minghao shifted his position. Not dramatically. Not in a way that screamed for attention. But enough. He moved closer, closing the distance that cameras rarely allow to be intimate. The energy changed. You could almost feel it through the screen. And before anyone could process it fully, his arms wrapped around them in a warm, natural embrace. No exaggerated laugh. No awkward hesitation. Just comfort. That's what made it explosive. Because in an industry as controlled as Chinese entertainment, where every gesture can spark rumors, where every glance becomes a headline, spontaneity feels almost rebellious. Within minutes, clips were circulating across Weibo, X, TikTok. Fans slowed the footage frame by frame. They zoomed into the smiles, the way his shoulders relaxed, the softness in his eyes. Did you see that? That wasn't scripted. The way he leaned in. The phantom detectives went into overdrive. And the more people replayed it, the more layered it felt. It wasn't just physical closeness. It was emotional ease. The kind you can't fake under stage lights. But here's where it gets deeper, because this wasn't happening in a vacuum. Hou Minghao has built her reputation as charming, playful, but careful. He knows the rules of the spotlight. He understands how quickly moments become narratives. So why risk something so openly affectionate? Was it instinct stronger than caution, or was it simply a human reaction, one that slipped past the polished image we're used to seeing? And that question is what kept fans watching. Because what happened next wasn't louder. It was quieter. And somehow, even more telling. After the embrace, there was no dramatic reaction. No frantic attempt to pull away. Instead, a smile. Small. Genuine. Almost shy. And if you've followed Hou Minghao's journey through hit dramas, variety shows, and public events, you know this kind of expression doesn't appear often on command. It's the kind that happens when someone forgets the cameras are there. Fans beginning comparing this moment to past interactions. Side-by-side clips flooded timelines. Has he ever looked at someone like that before? Has he ever stepped out of formation like that? Some said it was simple friendship. Others felt the tension was undeniable. But here's the truth that made the moment resonate globally. It felt real. In an industry built on scripts and choreography, authenticity is magnetic. And that's exactly what this was, a crack in the perfectly curated surface. The video lasted only seconds, yet it dominated conversations for hours. Edits appeared with slow-motion filters, romantic background music, dramatic captions. Chemistry can't be hidden. Even the stage lights couldn't outshine that moment. International fans who might not even follow Weibo events suddenly wanted context. Who was standing beside him? What's their history? Why did that hug feel different? And maybe the most powerful detail of all, the audience reaction. If you listen closely in the raw clip, there's a subtle shift in the crowd's energy. A ripple. A collective intake of breath. Because people recognize sincerity. And whether it was romantic, platonic, or simply spontaneous warmth, it broke through the polished surface of celebrity distance. But just when fans thought they had decoded every frame, another detail surfaced, and it changed the tone of the conversation completely. It wasn't just the embrace. It was the timing. The camera had already moved on. The spotlight wasn't centered on him. This wasn't a pose for attention moment. It happened in the in-between the seconds when stars usually reset their expressions and prepare for the next shot. That's why fans called it brave. Because doing something heartfelt when you are not supposed to be the focus, that takes courage. And courage in the entertainment world is complicated. Every action is analyzed. Every rumor spreads like wildfire. Yet Hou Minghao didn't look nervous. He looked calm. Almost as if he made peace with whatever narrative might follow. And that's when the conversation shifted from "Did you see that hug?" to "Why does this feel so meaningful?" Sometimes, it's not about confirmation. It's about connection. And in that brief moment under harsh white lights, fans saw something softer, something human. Which brings us to the heart of why this clip refuses to fade from timelines. Maybe it was just a hug. But maybe it was a reminder. A reminder that behind perfectly styled hair, designer suits, and carefully managed images, there are real emotions. Real impulses. Real warmth. We watch idols and actors like constellations in the sky, distant, glowing, untouchable. Yet sometimes, they let us see the gravity pulling them closer to someone else. That's what made this moment unforgettable. Not because it confirmed anything. Not because it announced anything. But because it felt honest. In a world where everything is filtered, edited, rehearsed, authenticity hits differently. And whether this embrace was a fleeting spark or something deeper, it gave fans something rare, a glimpse of vulnerability. And vulnerability is what makes stars human. So tell me, when you watched that viral clip, what did you feel? Was it just friendship, or did you sense something more beneath the stage lights? Drop your thoughts below. But keep it respectful, because sometimes the most powerful moments are the quietest ones. And trust me,